Its divine grace. ISKCON Stockaracharya Srila Prabhupada ki, Lamturlad Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Shri Shri Radha Krishna ki, Sri Sri Rukmini Dwarkadhish ki, Sri Sri Bhagavan ki, Sri Navji ki, all glories to this, all glories to this, all glories to this, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Devotee. Is it okay if I speak in English? Pas de problème? Parce que my Creole is not good. मेरे हिंदी बहुत खराब है. But okay. Oh, thank you. Sure. So devotees, I was ordered by Mother Satyabhama to do a little class on devotee relationships. Right? Devotee relationships, yes. Very important and very wonderful subject matter. So we'll do that. It's just a part of a whole seminar we do for like 5 days about devotee relationships. So it's kind of like an introduction. But it's nice. And I think you can learn, everyone can learn something from it. First of all, we begin by reading a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. But first of all, please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Right, so we'll begin by reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 30, and we will read verse 8. Chapter's titled, The Activities of the Prachetas. So verse 8, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Varam Vrinidvam Bhadram Vo Yuyame Nripanandana Sohardena Pritag Dharmas Tushto Ham Soridena Va. Translation: the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear sons of the King, I am very much pleased by the friendly relationships among you. All of you are engaged in one occupation, devotional service. I am so pleased with your mutual friendship that I wish you all good fortune. Now you may ask a benediction from me. So this is the Supreme Lord speaking, Supreme Personality of Godhead. And, so it's important, it's very important. He's speaking to these young men, the Prachetas, brothers, and he's appreciating their friendly relationships as devotees. So we're all trying to be devotees, trying to become proper devotees. Sometimes it's a bit challenging, but if we cultivate nice relationships with other devotees, then, well, just like here, the Supreme Lord is speaking here, and he's saying that because you have such nice relationships as devotees, I want to give you a benediction. I want to give you a special blessing. So, of course, we all would like to be blessed and get some mercy and, like that. And this is one of the main ways of doing it, of getting some special mercy that not everyone gets. And that is by cultivating nice devotee relationships. So I think I'm going to read part of the purport by Srila Prabhupada. It's not long, so please try and listen carefully. Prabhupada says, since the sons of King Prachanabarhishat were all united in Krishna consciousness, the Lord was very pleased with them. Each and every one of the sons of the king was an individual soul, but they were united in offering transcendental service to the Lord. The unity of the individual souls attempting to satisfy the Supreme Lord or rendering service to the Lord is real unity. In the material world, such unity is not possible. Even though people may officially unite, they all have different interests. In the United Nations, for instance, all the nations have their particular national ambitions, and consequently, they cannot be united. Yes, okay. So that's part of the purport. Let me just read the translation again. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear sons of the King, I am very much pleased by the friendly relationships among you. All of you are engaged in one occupation, devotional service. I am so pleased with your mutual friendship that I wish you all good fortune. Now you may ask a benediction of me." Right, so what I'll do now, I'll refer to my notes from the seminar. Like I said, it's a 5-day seminar. And, all sorts of lessons to learn, and there are all sorts of exercises we do, and analyzing good relationships, analyzing bad relationships, and how these things work. It's really important, super important. The first thing I want to mention, particular thing you should really try to take into your heads, because I have been told, devotees and friends, I have been told that the devotees here in Trialay Rukmini Dwarkadhish temple, I've been told the devotees here are very intelligent and thoughtful. That's what I've been told. So I'm going to tell you something now which I want you to really take in and into your hearts. Because if you learn this, and if you apply this, you will be successful in all your relationships, including your devotee relationships. So it's a simple idea. It's a simple idea, and it's kind of common sense. You know this term, common sense, right? Means it's not that difficult to understand. But have you heard that the problem with common sense is that it is not so common? Did you hear that? That's really true. That's the problem with common sense. So now, I know some of you are younger, some of you are older, but I think many of you know what is a bank account. I think many of you have bank accounts. You know what I mean? You must do. Bank account. So in your bank account, sometimes you deposit some money in, and when you do that, your bank balance goes up. And sometimes you withdraw some money, and your bank balance goes down. Yes. So, maybe, I don't know if you thought about this, but this is something which people who teach relationships, they really emphasize. Emotional bank account. Their emotional bank account. You have made a deposit. So now their attitude towards you just went up. Yeah, if you do something nice, if you do some service, at the end of the program, I suppose, prasadam will be served, I guess. So if you, devotees, listen to this. If you serve prasadam to the devotees this evening, and if you do it nicely, not just sort of, throw it around, but if you speak to them nicely and serve it nicely and ask them, would you like more? Like this, then they will appreciate you. And in that way, you will have made what we call a deposit in that person's emotional bank account with you. You get the idea? Do you get the idea? Let's hope so. But now, devotees, well, let me tell you a little story. Srila Prabhupada took a group of disciples to India for the first time. I think it was 1970. They left and they went and they stayed there for a year or two. So they went to one temple, and the devotee running the temple cooked nice prasadam for this group of devotees and Prabhupada. And Prabhupada ate prasadam with the devotees. But he didn't eat much. And when he'd finished, The devotees were still eating, and someone took around Prabhupada's plate and distributed Prabhupada's remnants. And one devotee, he got a gulab jamun. You know what a gulab jamun is? That's good. Yeah. He got a gulab jamun, which Srila Prabhupada had taken a bite from. This is special prasadam. Special prasadam. Maha prasad. And, you could see Prabhupada's tooth marks and like that. And this devotee who received that, he sat there looking at it. And he thought, wow, I got the mercy. That's great. But you know what another devotee did? Another devotee came up quickly, grabbed that gulab jamun, put it in his mouth, and that was it. Goodbye gulab jamun. It went to the place where prasadam never returns from. So that devotee who had received the gulab jamun initially, he got really upset. In other words, the devotee who stole it made a withdrawal from the emotional bank account with that devotee. You understand? Yeah, it's pretty simple. The devotee got really angry, and he went and told Srila Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, this devotee, I got a gulab jamun, your remnants, this devotee, look at him. He stole it. Oh, it's very bad. And you know what Prabhupada did? Well, he was hoping Prabhupada would call the devotee up and chastise him. Don't steal prasadam. But Prabhupada just laughed. And Prabhupada said he was very intelligent. Anyway, then Prabhupada said another thing. Prabhupada said there are two types of devotees. One likes to eat prasadam. The other one likes to serve prasadam. Prabhupada said they are both good. But the one who likes to serve prasadam is better. But they're both good. So anyway, talking about relationships and making deposits or withdrawals from our emotional relationships with other devotees, it's really important. It's really important because if you please the devotees, you get mercy. If you disturb the devotees and they get upset with you, Krishna doesn't like it. Krishna doesn't like it. It's very important how we treat Krishna's devotees. So if there's prasadam being served a little later, and, let's say there's some, I don't know what there is, but maybe there's some pakoras or something, and you go and steal a pakora from another devotee's plate, that's going to have a negative effect. Highly sophisticated or technical or tricky. It's very simple. But we should really try and do that. And then we'll find that many devotees appreciate us. And they're ready to express their appreciation. And it means that Krishna is happy. Yes, because Prabhupada said, love me, love my dog. They sound a little funny. But the basic idea is, if we love to love Krishna, we should love those who adhere to Krishna. Like Prabhupada said, if you want to impress a very rich man, very rich, like the king of Triolet, the king of Triolet, you want to please him, what you going to do? Don't bother giving him a car because he's got a better car. Don't even give him a house because he's got a much bigger house, because he's the king of Triolet. But, Prabhupada says, if you see that man out in the park with his little grandson, and you go and give the grandson one little sweet, which is, almost nothing, and the little grandson gets happy about it, then the rich man is going to think you're really nice. So this is a very important part of developing devotee relationships, to be aware, to be conscious of how we treat the devotees, and really try to avoid making withdrawals from their emotional bank accounts with you by doing things like, I mentioned stealing prasadam. I mean, that's a bit of a joke sometimes. Devotees steal prasadam. It's not that serious. But if you do something like criticize a devotee behind their back, then you know what it's like. Whatever you say, people will find out sooner or later. You may try to keep it a secret, but if you make some criticism of another devotee, that devotee will find out. They're going to find out, for sure. And then that devotee who you criticized, that's an important withdrawal. Your balance has gone down in their hearts. So if you lie to a devotee, if you cheat a devotee, criticize, if you blame a devotee, if you judge a devotee, if you are not supportive of a devotee, if you get angry with a devotee, if you betray trust, then if you do enough of these things with a particular devotee, not only will your balance in their emotional bank account go down and down, it may become bankrupt. Means the person will just reject you. They'll just reject you. And, and imagine if you're all attending ISKCON Triolet, but someone really doesn't like you at all because you hurt them, then, it's going to be very difficult for you to come to the temple and be happy, because you'll know this other person's looking at you like, oh, there she is, or there he is. And it'll be like disturbing to your heart. So it's extremely important. Yeah. We've all been criticized before, I'm sure. And you know what it feels like? It doesn't feel good. So here's a recommendation for you. On one hand, do what I was just saying. Be nice to the devotees. but as a type of what we call a sadhana. In Krishna consciousness, we have what is called sadhana bhakti. Sadhana means to practice, means you're not perfect. You're learning, you're practicing, trying to become better as a devotee. So a sadhana you can do is that, maybe you only come to the temple once a week. I mean, I don't know. Some of you live here. But if you say you come to the temple once a week, generally, on Sundays probably, say you do that, then as a sadhana, as a type of special practice, it would be a very good idea, I am suggesting to you, it's up to you to do it or not, but I'm suggesting that at least one devotee, you go up to them at some point during the program and express some appreciation. Like if the devotee sang nicely when I came in, wow, that was real kirtan, that was. I thought we were going to take off. Back home, back to Godhead. What's your name, actually? Abhiram. Okay, good name. Abhiram. Wasn't it a nice kirtan? I thought he was going to start flying, actually. And I mean it. I really mean it. I'm serious, completely serious. And if you do like that with someone, particularly if it's genuine, and you're not just kind of making it up or bluffing them, then they will feel happy. Look at him, he's smiling. Yeah, because people smile when nice things are said about them. But I'm saying to do it from the heart means, in order to be able to do it from the heart, you have to observe them a little bit and see what they're doing and how they're doing it. And then you'll be able to say, we tell the devotees to do that, among other things. And the devotees really appreciate it. In fact, we have one session. There are different sessions. There's one session we call the appreciation session. It comes at the end of the 5 days, one of the very last things. And now you've been with these devotees for 5 days. And so in groups, one by one, they have to express appreciation for each other. And I tell you what, they love it. They really love it. Because it's coming from the heart. And it's revealing something good which they're doing. So now they can develop that and do it more and do it better. And it's great. Yes, okay, so that's one thing I want you to bear in mind, okay? Mother Satyabhama, how much time do we have? I can't hear, I'm half deaf. Oh, I can go on as I wish until Mongol Arati. Anyway, it's okay. Okay. Hare Krishna. I don't want to overload you, I don't want to overload you because then you'll forget everything. And then, it's sort of a waste. But I will now, you know what I'm going to do? I'll just go through another verse actually, from Srimad Bhagavatam, and it is Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, chapter 8, verse 34. It's Narada Muni speaking to Dhruva Maharaj, 4:8:34. And if you're good students, you'll write these things down. So here's the verse, Gunadikan mudam lipsed, anukrosham gunadamat, maitrim samanad anvichchain, natapaya abhibhuyate. And translation, every person, actually says every man, but let's just say every person should act like this. When they meet a person more qualified than themselves, they should be very pleased. When they meet someone less qualified than themselves, they should be compassionate. And when they meet someone equal to themselves, they should make friendship with them. And then the last sentence, Narada Muni says something quite incredible, actually. Listen to this, see if you get it. In this way, if you do like this, in this way, one is never affected by the threefold miseries of this material world. If you just learn how to relate with 3 levels of person, 3 levels. Excuse me. First level, it might not have been totally clear from the verse, but the first level is those devotees who are senior to you. It means to you, not just in general senior, but senior to you. Because someone who's senior to you is probably junior to another person or on the same level. Yeah, so people who are senior to you, then there are 2 particular ways, 2 particular things you should do when you interact with them. And this actually you get from, if you know Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, verse 34. I don't know if you know that verse. Lord Krishna is talking about accepting a spiritual master. And with the spiritual master, then there are 2 things you have to do. You have to render service and ask questions or inquire. Pariprashnena sevaya. Excuse me, I think you all know a bit of Hindi, don't you? Malam hai samaste. Do you, ladies, you understand Hindi? Hare Krishna. No response. Anyway, okay. Prashna, you know prashna? Means question. Yeah. Pariprashnena, Krishna says. That the ending, ena, prashnena, means by doing, by asking questions, and sevaya, by rendering service. When you're associating with a more senior devotee, you should ask questions and render service. When you're interacting with Mother Satyabhama, That's what you should do. Because I've known Mother Satyabhama since, I think, 1983 when I first came. You were already a devotee, weren't you? 88, okay. Anyway, she's a very senior devotee, and she's in charge. So, find a way to render some service and inquire, ask some questions about Krishna consciousness. These are the two, just in simple terms, the two main things we should do when we're interacting with a devotee who is senior to us. Yeah. And then Narada Muni spoke about second category, devotees who are junior to you. Someone who's junior to you may be senior to someone else. So it's relative. It's relative to you, specifically, case sensitive. So with those who are junior, the basic mood in dealing with devotees who are junior to you, and even particularly those who really are junior, just beginning Krishna consciousness, but anyone who's junior, actually, the basic mood should be more or less like parental. I'm sure many of you are parents, and you know what it's like with your children. You've got to look after them. You've got to guide them. And you got to correct them sometimes and explain things sometimes. But you got to do it. Parents generally, at least, decent parents or good parents, their mood in doing these things, even in correcting a bit, the mood is loving. And it's not like an aggressive mood. And therefore the child, even when the child is being corrected, the child will feel, this is for my benefit. It's difficult being a parent because sometimes children are naughty, and sometimes they're very naughty, and sometimes they're extremely naughty. And sometimes you may feel like shouting at them. If you want to educate a person, like sort of change their ways, make their activities better, a very bad way to do it is to shout at them. Yeah. If you want someone to not accept what you're trying to tell them to do, shout at them. And it's almost guaranteed they're going to think, who are you? And why are you treating me like that? But then you've got to be self-controlled. Prabhupada said when Krishna was a little boy, when Krishna was little, when Krishna was good, he was good. And when Krishna was bad, he was good. But that's Krishna. Your children are not Krishna. So you got to learn, even when your children do some nonsense, and you may feel, angry and disturbed and feel like just letting off some steam. Don't do it, because you won't be able to help them. And you won't help yourself either. You'll just damage your relationship with them further. So the the mood when dealing with juniors is meant to be like parental, guiding, protecting, instructing sometimes, helping, being merciful, compassionate. And then with those who are more or less on the same level as you. Now, what does it mean? How are you going to tell if someone's on the same level as you? I mean, it's much easier said than done. The thing is, it's not really a good idea to kind of get into psychoanalyzing devotees. Is the devotee more advanced than me or not? Generally, we encourage devotees, if you want to understand who's senior, who's junior, and who's more or less on an equal level as you, the simple way, really simple, it's not, anyone can do it basically, particularly if you know these people a bit, if you're associating with them from time to time, is to understand how long they have been devotees. Yeah. Have they been devotees longer than you or shorter time? And that's not difficult. But if you try to psychoanalyze devotees to see how advanced they are, sure, you can get into a mess. So yes, this is how we should determine, basically in terms of how long people have been devotees. I mean, it can be how long the devotee has been initiated. That's also possible compared to you. It's what we call in English, we call a rule of thumb. Rule of thumb means just like a basic idea, very basic idea, but not a bad idea. So with those who are senior, pariprashnena sevaya, asking questions, inquiring, rendering service to them. Those who are junior, parental, compassionate, trying to help them, protect them even from themselves sometimes, and guide them. And then those who are more or less on an equal level with you, plus or minus, then, Narada Muni says, you should befriend them, make friendship with them. Make friendship means when you meet every now and then speak a little bit. I mean, even just ask them how they are. But take an interest. And, something which is nice, which we do in the seminar, we order the devotees just before lunchtime. We order the devotees, when you sit down to have lunch, you must not sit with someone you know. You must sit with someone you don't know. And when you sit with them, you must begin a conversation with them about Krishna consciousness. Yeah. And they do this because we tell them, and we go around and we monitor them. And so many of them, they just become like so excited that I got to know a new person, a new devotee who I didn't know, and I didn't know what they're like, but the person was really nice. It's very exciting. So, anyway, with devotees who are more or less on the same level as you, I know devotees tend to hang around in cliques. Do you know what I mean by cliques? Set groups who've known each other for years, and they may even exclude others from their conversations. But as devotees, particularly with others who are roughly on the same level, we should really try to cultivate a friendly relationship with them. And yeah, we should really try and do that. And you can do things like, as a group, you can do some service together. Gather a group, and for example, you could cook the Sunday feast one week together, or you could serve the Sunday feast one week together as a team, or you could clean the temple together after the Sunday program. This is what friends do. They do things together, and they share. Like, you know what I read in Bhagavad Gita the other day? This is a question they can ask. And then they can explain, I read this and that, and what do you think about it? I mean, you can sort of construct these relationships. So, okay, devotees, I think there's just one more thing. Because, like I said, I don't want to overdo it and sort of saturate your brains too much. Where am I going to find it? In Prabhupada's books, just bear with me. Nectar of Instruction, verse 4. Nectar of Instruction, verse 4. Dadati pratigrinati guyam akyati prichati bunkte bojayate chaiva shadvidam priti lakshana. So this is Srila Rupa Goswami. Offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, which means when someone reveals their mind in confidence, then you try and give some advice or something like that. Then accepting prasad and offering prasad, these are 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another. So, offering a gift in charity. Devotees, do you remember when was the last time you gave another devotee a gift? Did you ever do it? Anyway, when was the last time? So it's nice. Just like I mentioned, appreciating when you see a devotee doing nice service. It's so important. But you can also give a gift. And if someone offers you a gift, you should accept it. Revealing your mind in confidence. If there's something, particularly if there's something which is bothering you, you don't want to just tell anyone, but find some suitable person like Mother Satyabhama, and you can explain that, there's this situation, can you help me? And if you ask a suitable person, they can help you with whatever the situation is. And then accepting prasadam and offering prasadam. We should do this from time to time. I do. When I was in Radharadhanath Temple in in Durban, well, it was a couple of months ago actually. They asked me to serve prasadam on Sunday, and I did. And it was so nice, serving prasadam. And you know what happened? Because everybody knows me there. Everybody knows me. So they all came up for seconds and thirds. So yeah, accepting prasad and offering prasad. So these are 6 symptoms of love. And we, as devotees, we should put these into practice in suitable ways. I mean, you can give a gift to anyone, you can accept a gift pretty much from anyone. Revealing your mind in confidence, that you've got to be careful about. Got to be careful that you reveal your mind to the right person. And if someone approaches you and they're looking for advice, see if you're able to. And if you're not, tell them, I don't really know what to say. Why don't you go ask Mother Satyabhama? And accepting prasad, that's easy. And offering prasad or serving prasad, yeah. So think about these things, devotees. Think about these things. What things? Your emotional bank accounts, making deposits and increasing them, making withdrawals by offending or disturbing. Think about these things. Think about these 3 levels of devotees in relation to you and how to interact with them. And then think about these 6 types of exchanges and try doing some of these things. What do you think? Ho sakta hai. Anyway, give it a try. It is now in your hands. It is your property. See what to do with it. Okay, devotees and friends, thanks for listening very patiently. It may not have been what you were really expecting. But anyway, there you go. Any comments or questions? Because, I said, didn't I, that I heard the Trialay devotees are very intelligent and thoughtful and interested and like that. Any comment or question? Maybe I should come back in the future and give you a test. Because that's what we do. We give tests. It's an educational process. Okay, Hare Krishna.